Dr. Fat. So amazingly that he has been working in the marketing field for more than 15 years. And you can see that he also holds a doctor degree in management, major in marketing. So Mr. Fat or Dr. Fat has developed a high profile in the marketing field, working for many blue chip companies as you see Shell, Goodyear, Bosch, Mercedes-Benz, and he currently a marketing director of one of the largest real estate company in Vietnam. So Dr. Fat, thanks for coming, and it's a great opportunity for our student to learn from a practitioner who have built a high profile in the marketing field. So I'll give it back to you, Fat, and thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Anh Lim. Thank you, Dr. Lim. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for the invitation. So I think Dr. Lim already covered all the information about me already. So anyway, I'm quite happy and I'm pleased to share talk today. As the introduction, I've been working for the marketing field for more than 15 years already. So deducting the day I stayed in school, right? I start as the I graduate from the foreign trade major actually in the UEH, University of Economic Ho City. But I start my career in marketing as the intern at very beginning, when I just start working. And one day, and I fell in love with marketing. So I told myself, right, I'm throughout my whole lifetime, I would dedicate myself to the marketing field. So that's why you see, like, from the job work experience and also from my academic background, I start concentrate on the marketing field for the marketing research and marketing practice as well. I have been gone through different positions in a multinational company, work for like Shell, Goodyear, Bosch. I also have some experience working in overseas, right? I was taken position of marketing director in China for a real estate company. I also doing some project in real estate in Indonesia for more than 1 year, and I came back Vietnam 2 years ago because of the pandemic. Okay, so this is all about me, and today I will share about the topic segmentation and marketing mix strategy. So I use the share advanced case to explain and explore more the angle of segmentation. So how we implement the segmentation into the marketing mix strategy and how we link two terms together, right? So anyway, I won't go through the concept of theory again, but I just want you guys to recall a little bit about the segmentation. So what does it mean, segmentation? Certainly, I think that you already learned through already. So I want you guys to remember back segmentation and marketing mix strategy and how we apply into the business situation. Okay. So first of all, when we talk about segmentation, immediately we will come up a picture that we will divide the market into many small pieces, right? So based on some criteria, some companies, some brand, they will use the demographic, right? And they can use the geographic, or they can use the psychology, or lifestyle, whatever. They can divide the market into many small portion, and then after that they will choose the one they think that is suitable for their strategy and the one they have most like profitable, right? So they will target. We call it targeting. And after that you have segmentation, targeting, and then you will need to position yourself as different among other competitors. And when you got all the tools in hand already, you will based on the framework here, you work out the marketing mix strategy. Okay, and today I will talk more about the communication strategy for this one. Okay, so before I talk about the case, I just want to ask some question here. What kind of transportation you use daily? Can anyone give me some answer? Raise your hand.
Train and bus.
Trans. Okay. How about the other right? Let's say in Vietnam, let's say. So in our country, so what kind of transportation you use? You can drop me a message on the chat box. Okay.
One. You can say something. One.
Yeah, you can say something, right? Yeah.
I saw you raise your hand. One.
Hello, teacher. You can hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess the motorbike is the most popular transportation in Vietnam.
Okay, so you're using a motorbike every day, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask you the second question? Have you ever changed the oil or lubricant for your motorbike? Ever?
Actually, no.
Right? Okay, no, okay. So this is the common answer that I ask all the consumer at those times. You know, Shells, they have many business, right? So they have they're doing business in fuel, and they also have some business in lubricant. Okay, and that time, 10 years ago, actually, I worked for Shell as a brand and communication manager for lubricant section. So I was in charge of the motorbike lubricant and also the passenger car lubricant. And today we talk about this story. So why I'm asking you guys this question, because like the answer of one is the same with all the answer of the other consumer. So it means that like we conduct a survey of consumer, and we found out that like some behavior and insight of a consumer, they tell us something about the business. Like you can see here, right? Where we asking like think about the last time you want to train the lubricant. So what kind of thing you do, right? So you will train the oil for you, etc. And you see here, right? And 88% of person consumer that they're asking, they say that like do it for me. It means that like they will not do it by themselves, and the other person do it for them. Most of the they will rely on the influencer, the mechanic. Okay, and only a few percent, if I buy, you do it for me and do it myself. So, can you guys imagine that this business heavily rely on the mechanics, rely on the intermediate? Okay, so when the mechanic they recommend the oil to other person, so other person will follow their advice and use it. Okay, so this is the do it for me market. Okay, and we see another figures and data. So what kind of thing is tell me, right? When they choose the brand for the oil, and you see here, right, recommended to me is increasing. It's been half of half, right? And then based on the advice from the others, I choose myself is only 50%. This survey is 10 years ago, okay? 10 years ago, and the trend of this one decreasing. Actually, like the recommendation from others become more significant to the consumer decision making. Okay, so what does it mean? What does it mean to the business? It means that like we have a quite very weak link relationship between the brand and customer, because in the middle you see here, right? We have a very key important roles here is the mechanic influencers. Okay. Okay. So in order to improve the business situation or improve the brand image to the consumer, right? So we need to understand clearly about the key influencer insight and consumer insights. Okay. Before I'm talking about the consumer insight, I want to go through briefly about the mechanic. Okay, mechanic. Okay. So what kind of concern that the mechanic they will care about, like, okay, how to influence them to introduce your product to the consumer. So for them, the only one thing that they mind is the profit. It means that when they sell your products, right? So they are the distributor, they are the retailer, they are the mechanic, they are the like the worker for a repair shop, something like this. Okay, you can imagine like in that position, in that expectation, what they want profit, right? They want profit because they sell your product to the consumer. They can get a commission. Okay, they can get a margin, right, between the price, distribution price, and the retailer price and end user price. So whoever give them the most profit, and then they will sell the oil to the consumer. You get the point, right? So and then with this system, with this situation, as a brand manager at those times, I need to increase my brand awareness to the consumer, first of all. The second one, I also need to improve my brand preference for consumer to choose. Wherever, whatever they think, whenever they think about the brand, the changing the oil, they will choose the Shell brand, or they will prefer the Shell brand than the others. Okay, so I need to do those jobs for the consumer. Okay, but actually, when I asking the people, they don't care about the brand because this is a very low involvement product to them, even though they don't know what does it mean. Okay, they just know that this is the oil, the lubricant for a bike. That's it. And they don't know the technology inside, and they don't know what the benefit actually is to them, right? Because they don't consume the product into their body directly. They use the product for their bike. And the performance of the bike will depending on other factors, not only the lubricant, right? So it's very hard for the product, for Shell to stress on the benefit, the key benefit for the consumer. So this is the task for all the brand manager. We need to brainstorm what kind of thing we do. Okay, and at those times, we come up many ideas. It's one of the ideas that we need to understand the consumer insights, and we start conducting some survey to understand the consumer. Okay, so this is the survey we did it 10 years ago. At that moment, we need to develop a new customer value proposition, right? It means that the benefit that the customer has when they use the products. But we need to understand the consumer need. Okay, consumer need to resonate and real human needs inside the brand and the products. Okay, so that's a requirement to understand the customer insights, and also need to reframe the segmentation. And Shell decided to carry out the global quantitative and qualitative research across some key markets. Okay, to study the consumer model risk. So Vietnam is one of the key markets for motorbike. So that's why we are actually like we are one of the key driver for the business in this Asian country, and learn more about the consumer. Okay, so actually for the segmentation, we conduct the whole survey for like 6 to 7 countries: Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, etc. And then after that, we need to after we got all the information, right? So we asked many people, and we need to group them. We need to group them based on some criteria, right? So we will find like, okay, this person have similar need, and then we group them together, and we find out the insight, the behavior, and the customer persona, right? And after that, we will use some framework to frame them and categorize the consumer into different groups. Okay, so and we use the Sensorium model of human needs. So when talking about the human needs, you guys know the Maslow need. Right, the Maslow need you learn already. This is another model we call it Sensorium model, mostly based on the motivation, and we have they have 2 dimensions. Okay, so the first dimension is about whether individual or the group, right? So if you have intended to the group oriented, right? So you will be more belonging. Okay, if you have like oriented to the individual, so you have the other side or the power. Okay, the other dimension is that enjoyment or control, whether you control yourself or you will release yourself to the joyfulness, etc. So based on those kind of dimension, we group the consumer into different group. Okay, let's see how we did at those time. Okay, so based on the dimension here, we found out that like there's about 5 key group of consumer. They have the same need together, so we group them and then we give a name. We name them. Okay, with some we call like passionate. Okay, with some we call it externalist and specialist and rationalist or utilitarian. Okay, so we based on the let's say for utilitarian, right? So the more on security, right? Belonging. So this they want to those person is quite like they will follow the society. Okay, so follow the large majority of the society. Whenever whatever people use, they will follow something like this. And let's say for externalists, okay, so those person they will have more on the self-esteem. They will have the asserting themselves, right? Something like this. Okay, let's have a bit look at the behavior of those kind of segmentation. Okay, among the people we ask, so some guys they have those insight. Let's say these people are very proud to be the biker, right? And it's the output show having a smart shiny bike, but actually they are not into the mechanics of this. Why? Because like this is the consumer insight. Like they think that most people will see them as a pretty strong personality, right? And they also see the biking as a reflection of themselves. Yeah, the bike reflect them, and they love the bike. Actually, but they're not that keen on getting their hands dirty. So what does it mean? So they will leave the bike to other person to take care of it, right? And also they prefer to leave it to other, right? As for oil, they are not that experts. So what does it mean? They also take the mechanics advice. So this person, they love the bike, but they don't care about the oil. They will take the advice from the mechanics. Okay, so this is the main takeaway from this segmentation. Okay, and you look down the customer persona, you will see right, they are overwhelming male, right? 90%, yeah, and slightly younger, about 33 years old, etc. Right? So they enjoy riding very much, and they tend to enjoy hanging out with friends, with biker, etc. Right? And they are primarily do it for me. Okay, so this is the customer persona. We understand the behavior and the attitudes about the oil and the changing oils. Okay, so we know about the details already. Okay, let's move to other segment. So this segmentation, this person, right? So we have call it specialists. So those guys is pretty smart, right? They know a lot of knowledge about the biking, and they can fix the bike by themselves, right? And people still respect them for their knowledge. Okay, so they think that like all aspect of biking and oil is no different. Yeah, so they will pay for the oil that give them advantage. It means that they will look at the technical aspect. They will actually they will try to explore the benefit of the oil, whether the oil can meet their need or not. Okay, so for those guys, my buy show I know what I'm talking about, right? So my oil is a smart choice. Yeah, so this guy is we call it specialist. Yeah. Okay, and also like the personnel, right? And those guys are pretty bit, a little bit younger, like about 20 years old, something, right? They do everything necessary to keep the bike in excellent condition, etc. Okay, so this one, they do it for themselves, do it yourself, right? So they will buy the oil, they will choose the oil, and then they will change it for them. Okay. Yeah, and move to other like passionate. Okay, passionate is quite different from the other groups. So for those group, biking as a way of life, right? All is the life path. Okay, so they they want a good oil and keep the bike in the top condition. Okay, so this one they can spend a lot of money and will pay for the extra price for the best oil for the bike. Okay. Yeah, I won't go to details. I will move. Okay, I will skip like rationaries. Okay, if you look at the picture here, a lot of like familiar face, right? So you can see okay, from other province, okay, Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, whatever, right? So riding a bike is okay for those person. And like the other guys, right? They quite enjoy all the motorsport or TV magazine, etc. But honestly, they don't find riding that much for a thrill. Maybe they do it too many kilometers per day already. So if you're asking okay, do they love riding? I think the answer maybe maybe not, right? So they will get the bike service when needed, okay? And they are not gonna waste money on expensive brand. Yeah, they are quite rational for this one, okay? So that's why quite like rationalist for those guys. Okay, and the last one, okay, if you, so when you look at the picture, you can guess, right? Most of them women. Okay, like just on, right? I just asked one the question. I just doesn't care about this one. So maybe the husband or the boyfriend or the father, whatever, right? So change the oil for them. Sometimes they just bring the bike to the repair shop and the other people take care of this one, right? So family to them is the life and show, right? They work hard to provide them with everything they need, right? The bike is the very necessity, right? Just a necessity, and they will keep it clean, right? And they will regularly take the bike to their mechanic, but they don't want to spend a lot of money, okay? So this one is a utilitarian. So they only use the bike to perform the task, the daily task, right? In their lifetime, that's it. So oil is simply a necessity, nothing else, okay? Okay, so I have gone through the different segmentation already, but now we need to see like how big is the segment size, right? So this is the picture of a segment size in different country back to 10 years ago, okay? So I want to take Vietnam as a case. You see here, right? We have different, okay? When we already categorize the segmentation, we see that like, okay, in Vietnam, we have 5 segments, okay? So we will measure the size of the market, how big is it, right? And then based on some study, based on survey, then we can come up the figure like this. And you see here, right, in Vietnam, passionate and the utilitarian is the most dominant segment size, okay, in segment size. Okay, as a marketing manager, so I want to ask you a question, okay? Just imagine that you are a marketing manager. Which segment you want to target? So anybody can give me the answer? If I give you, I think patronage. Okay, yeah, thanks for the question, patronage. Okay, yeah, patronage. The answer will depend on the company objective and strategy. So what kind of strategy that the company want, right? So if you just want only to capture the biggest size of the segment, I think we will choose that passionate or externalist. Okay, but if the company they follow or they pursue the market penetration, let's say, so they want to dominate they want to penetrate through all the segments, so they will choose all the segment to target. Okay, and here's the story to talk about the marketing strategy. Okay, I pick up the brand and communication strategy to talk about this one, how we link this one to the segmentation to my strategy at that time. Okay, if you look at this here, I make a one-page summary of the strategy we needed. Actually, for sales, they will have they would like to pursue a diversification. It means that like they offer different products for different segments in different market. Okay, in different market. If you see here, right, they're setting the different pricings for different products and different color we use it here. Actually, when you look back at the hint here, the graph here, I got a hint for you already. So different color, we have different products. You see here, right? So we do the packaging for the products to differentiate the segment already. You see here, right? For the utilitarian, we just only we want to offer the red color one, okay? For the personage, we offer the yellow one. Actually, for the blue color is mostly for scooter. For scooter, at those times, scooter is the new kind of motorbike, right? Beside the gear one. So we have two kinds of the yellow one and the blue one is the personage actually. And the most expensive one, you can imagine 10 years ago, they already sold at the price at 360,000 about that, right? For the externalists and people to use this, okay? And we also have the green one is mostly for the special motorbike to use it. So it means that we have diversified the product range for different segments. And the company, we also like using different pricing strategy for different products. Let's say for the red color and the yellow color, they will penetration the market. So mostly we would use the very cheaper price than the competitors. The competitors at those time is Catron. Okay, Catron is the market leader. They sold about like 90,000, okay, 90,000, about 100,000 around there. And then we show about 80, 90,000. So about 5 to 10% less than them. So we want to penetrate the market, okay? But for one product, for the Ultra, the black color one, the gray color one, we setting the skimming pricing. So this is the most expensive one selling at that time in Vietnam. Together with some imported oil. So this one we will import totally, and we show it as the we call it like the flagship store of Shell, right? So we also using a skimming price. It's very expensive. Besides that, we also apply some flanker brand strategy. So what does it mean, flanker brand strategy? The main segment you on already told you already, the personage. Personage is the key segment we want to target. Okay, because this is the very match with the brand positioning. However, we also need to compete with the low tier one. It means that we have some local lubricant company. They have some cheap products. Okay, they have some cheap products. We also some product made in China, whatever. Right. So in the market, it's quite confused sometimes. So we also come up the red color. The red color as play as the flanker brand. Okay, so we will use this product to compete with the lower tier, with the low price products. And if you see here, right, you seldom see here in Ho Chi Minh City, but if you go to other province, okay, like Long An or Tiền Giang or whatever, right? It's the other province. Is the they most using the lower tier because the customer there, the consumer there, they don't want to pay more for this one, right? So they're willing to pay at the lower price. So we use this product to compete with others, but we will use another product to keep the brand image. For different products, we will use we have different strategy. Let's say we will use the higher tier, the medium or higher tier for the communication. Yeah, this product is perfectly matched with our positioning. We don't want to downgrade our brand. We don't want people to associate the low price or cheap oil with Shell, right? Shell is a global brand already. So that's why for all the communication, we need to use the flagship brand, the gray color, the blue color, or the yellow color. We cannot use the red color to do the communication for consumer. The red color only for pricing. Okay, and then we also have some KOL, POC, key opinion leader, right? So we will the influencer program. Because like most of people will rely on the mechanic. So what will you do for the mechanic? Okay, how you influence, how you encourage the mechanic to sell a product for you. So this is another story. You need to encourage them. Okay, we will come up some program for influencer. We give them more like commission. We give them some like travel coupon, something like this. Okay, etc. And we also use some key opinion customer at those time. Some famous people and some they have some influence on the community, the riding community. Okay, so they can talk about the oil, something like this. Okay, and separate the brand and different strategy. Okay, so this is the story about segmentation and how we practice the strategy. And now I want to show you the implementation, the actual thing we done for brand communication campaign. So I will use one of the campaigns to talk about this one. Okay, when already we got the all the like I told you already, we will focus on for communication. We'll focus on the passionate. We'll focus more on the externalist and the specialist. We won't focus on the utilitarian. Okay, utilitarians. Okay, so we pick up these three segments as the target customer, also target audience for the campaign, and we ask some questions about the communication. Let's say, if you talk about the brand awareness, right? It say like, I haven't heard about Share Advance, right? I know very little about the brand. So what's the task of the brand? What should communication do, right? This is for the awareness, okay? And also for the engagement, it's mean that like, I don't think there's a difference between the buy oil brands, is there, right? So what's different between Castrol and Shell? I think most of you guys will not know, right? I'm sure you won't know about this one. Okay, so for communication, so what kind of thing we need to do, right? To settle, to fix this problem, we will tell the differentiation between the competitors, okay? Okay. Along the customer journey, okay, when a customer make the purchase already, so you need to ask, like, especially at the point of sales. So price can sway my direction, my decision, right, on which brand to choose. So sometimes, like for example, right, the other competitors, they will offer a lower price, so the better promotion, so the consumer will sway the decision into them. Yeah, so you see like what kind of thing you do, right? What kind of thing you need to communicate at the point of sales in order for the consumer to stay with you, right? Whatever the other competitor do for them, okay? And lastly, when they use the product, after they use the product, the post-purchase behavior. So is it they talk about? Do they talk about the topic, the oil topic, or do they share the experience with other, or they do, or do they say something good about the oil for you, right? So this is those kind of parts for communication into different stage of consumer journey. Okay, and you see here, right? We only pick up 3 segments as a target market to communicate. We don't choose the other tools. Okay, so this is what you see. We also serving them, but for communication, I may choose 3. Okay, for all the campaign, for all the strategy or marketing plan, you need to have the objectives. Okay, so the objectives, very obviously, we want to improve the brand KPIs. Okay, the brand awareness. So how people aware your products, right? The brand preference, how they prefer your products, and the brand usage. Okay, so how many person use your products when they ask, right? And finally, and importantly, right, the sale revenue, right, by the company. Okay, so when we have a campaign, we will fill out the number like this. Okay, and this is the strategy for the campaign. We have like target audience. Okay, so here, because it's the communication campaign, so we use TA, right, target audience rather than target customer. We see like the biker, for whom is the bike is more than transport, right? It's play a quite important role in their life, right? They will have joy and fun, right, when they take the riding, something like this. So the consumer, the customer insights, like my part is a very important part of my life. It gives me the thrill of freedom, right? Freedom, and allow me to get ahead. Yeah. So those kind of customer insight, and this is the customer value proposition. So what kind of thing, what kind of benefit you can deliver to the consumer based on your products, right? You have functional, you have emotional, some reason to believe, some kind of technology that you claim for the products, okay? And also like what you offer, right? So this is the key when you do, I will do some TVC to do this one. So later on, I will show the TVC what we did. Okay, come to the message part. Okay, for all the communication, when you already pick your target audience, you need to have a very strong and we call it like the message, the key message you want to deliver to your audience. And this one you want to deliver is like with the responsive technology of the oil, right? So they will give you the effortless mobility to experience freedom. The word freedom again. So we will summarize this kind of objective into one key message, like every buy and every ride are made for enjoyable. Okay, so you can enjoy your ride, right? Enjoy every ride. So this is the key message. It's very concise, right? Very concise and straight to the point. Can give you some enjoyment when you're riding. That's the simple message for the campaign. And you also can see here, right? We use the flagship products here, right? So it means that we don't use the red color, we don't use the yellow color, we use the gray color, the most expensive one to for this campaign. This is the some of the sketching, right? The sketching idea of the campaign. And also when we choose the platform for media, we have above the line, below the line, we have PR, public relations, we have digital, etc. So we pick up the one, this one based on the customer profile. Okay, so you know that the target audience, okay, how are they? What kind of channel they interact, right? What kind of social platform they usually use in their daily life, Facebook, Zalo, whatever, right? YouTube, whatever. So you base on those kind of behavior, and then you come up with media campaign for this one. Every campaign communication, we need a solution, creative solution to grab the attention of consumer, right? So we hire the agency to come up some idea for this one. We sketch a storyboard, right? One by one screen, and then we have some concept testing. We conduct some focus group, okay? Focus group to ask about the consumer. Okay, when you read the picture like this, when you see the picture like this, what kind of products? Of course, we won't show the last scene here. We'll ask like, okay, what kind of message you can read from the picture, or what kind of product you can imagine that we are selling, we are talking about a story, etc. So we will pick up the best one for our campaign. Okay, so this is the one of the sketching here you see, right? Work in progress. Okay. And here is the final version, we show to the market. So we post this one to the market. Okay, can you guys see this some key point here? When we translate into Vietnamese, right? Because this one we need to do adaptation. We cannot use the enjoy every ride for the Vietnamese consumer. We will translate, right? So we create like em máy nhảy xe đừng xa thoải mái, whatever, right? So you need to some copywriter to see it like this. And you see here, I put some product here. Why at the beginning we want to put the flagship one, but actually come to Vietnam market. I see the because the flagship product is not a popular one. Just a seldom customer, very niche, right? Very niche, focused strategy to this product, and it's not the popular. So I just want to have some popular products for the market to get aware of this one. So that's why I put the yellow and the blue brand here, 3 brands together. And you see here, right? I also make some local adaptation. The ya is come from the because we use for different countries. At those times, I also in charge of Thailand and Philippines as well. So we use one campaign for 3 countries, but come to Vietnam, I asked the team to train a little bit into the local language, Vibu or whatever, right? So you can see here, right? This is the final version, final post we go to the market. And now I want to show you guys the TVC we make it, okay, based on the storyboarding. Okay, this is storyboarding, right? The storyboard, okay, you see here, right? Some guy stuck in a traffic jam, right? And he just want to get out of it, right? And then he sees some friends and enjoy the ride. Okay, and now we come to the reality. So this is the can you guys see my screen? If you cannot see, just raise my hand or let me know, okay, and stop me.
Excuse me, Frank, would you please copy and share the link on YouTube if that's available on YouTube? Can you share that to everyone? in the chat box?
Insert the video here. I just okay. I open. I try to open it. Okay. Yeah. Let me know whether you can see it or not. Can you see it?
Yeah, we do. But sometimes, you know, because of the internet quality, we get lag.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I already provide the link already. The link here. So yeah, the link here. So these two links, so you can see it later on, right? Okay. I play it again. Okay.
Với Cell Advance, chiếc xe yêu dấu của bạn luôn duy trì phong độ đỉnh cao. Vì khi xe thoải mái, bạn sẽ như vậy. Đôi khi còn tốt hơn thế. Êm máy nhạy xe. Chu du đón Tết. Cell Advance 90% thợ sửa xe tin dùng.
Okay. You see it, right? You see it, right? So actually this campaign we do it together with that campaign. Just the people, because during that vacation, that holiday, so people will change the oil, right, for the bike. As some people will go back to their hometown, right, so they need to refresh their bike, right. So you see what the key message we put here, right. We also use the enjoy every ride and my say, right, enjoy every ride. The copywriter will be a little bit adept, okay. And we also put a very important message here, like 90% of mechanics believe in that, okay. This means that like this is some like testimonial we use it to convince the consumer to use it. And also you see the picture here, right. I only use 3 products to represent this for this communication strategy. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, for the media strategy, we beside the TVC, beside the out home, we also have other platform like pay media, on media, and on media. So we also take this one. Let's see here. I think it's the media plan is quite clear for you guys. During those time, we separate into different phase. Okay, the first phase we want to build the awareness, right. We build the awareness, also promote some promotion campaign, right. We have the brand announcement, we have the brand engagement, and we warm up to ask customer call to action. Yeah, you need to buy it. Okay, so we have display ad on some newspaper, digital, okay, like VN Express, right, like whatever, right. So we have a lot of news digital newspaper. We put some display ad there. We also roll the TVC. We put it in some like digital, okay, YouTube, okay. Now you have TikTok, right? At those time I don't have TikTok. I only have YouTube, okay. And also we have Facebook, okay. Social media, we have Facebook, we have Google search, okay. We buy some keywords there, right. And we create the digital hub is the fan page and the sale website. So all the information will click to the landing page, and the information will go back to the sale website. Okay, and the second phase, right? The second phase we want to the first one I want to increase the awareness only, so I will put more on this one. But the second phase I want people to call an action. You buy the product from me, please. Okay, so I will educate the people, encourage the people to use and warm up, whatever. You see here, right? And more, I do more on the Facebook again for this one. Actually, it's the we keep right maintenance. And this is the budget. We split it into different percentage for different campaign. Okay, and this is the results, what we have, right? You can see like we have the billboard, okay? Billboard out home in very crowded traffic roundabout in the city. Then we see the share bus everywhere, right? And do some public relation, right? VN Express, Yingji, Hanbun, yeah, whatever, right? So we talk about the products. I see using very, I told you like key opinion leader or key opinion customer, whatever, right? So Mr. Ma Kim Song, right? So he's got some, is quite popular in the biking community. So we invite them to talk about the product, to convince the consumer why Shell is good for the bike, etc. Right? And so run on TVC, etc. Yeah. And together we also have some promotion program for customer to call for action. So this one only for awareness, right? For awareness. But you ask people, you remember like point of sales, right? At the stage of people making the purchase, sometimes they will switch away from other competitors. So at the point of sales in some repair shop or some workshop, we do some promotion. When you buy the lubricant, the oil, you can get a chance to make the lucky draw, right? You can draw a new buy, whatever, right? So at point of sale, we also have some program to encourage people, consumer to buy it. Okay, so this is about the talk I want to share today. Sorry, I took it about 45 minutes. Yeah, so you guys have any question or anything you want me to clarify or to further discuss about this one?
Thanks, Dr. Fa, for a great presentation. So question, please.
Okay, one, yeah.
So previously, I heard that you talk about to create the profitable relationship with the final customer and also the mechanic. So which one is more important for us to create the profitable relationship?
Okay, so you're asking about the relationship between the brand, customer, and the relationship between the mechanic, right? I think, okay, if you go back to the data I present, this market is do it for me market. So mechanic is quite important during the customer making decision, right? They play a very important role. They can recommend to the consumer. So we need to keep a very close relationship with the mechanic, first of all. But anyway, mechanic also, you can consider mechanic. Why don't you persuade them as the customer? If the mechanic already become your customer, so they will be the customer and then they will introduce to other customer of customer, okay? Whatever. In the long-term perspective, you need to build a brand customer relationship. It means that you need the end user to know about your brand, because like whatever the mechanic they recommend in some day, let's say in some day when the okay, nowadays we use the bike, right? So if you use the car, so maybe if you use a car, you will be the do it for me, right? So but you care about the oil already. But for the bike, because of the country situation, because of the people income, people education or whatever, right? So they don't care about that. But anyway, in long-term perspective, we need to build a strong relationship between the brand and customer. Whatever in the future, if other competitors or new entrant into the market, so Shell also dominates some position in the customer mind, right? So this is the long-term one. But for short-term, we need to also take care about the mechanic. Yeah, the influencers. So we need to have a lot of education for the mechanic in order to persuade the mechanic to sell your product, okay? Beside the profit, okay? Beside the profit they can earn, you also need to tell them, okay, the technology, you need to give them some knowledge about the technology, about the oil, what kind of technology we use for this lubricant, how it's different between this one with other competitors, so they can understand more your product and they prefer your product, they love your product and they will recommend your product to others. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for your answer.
So I think your question is great. It's a really good question, and I think it's a reminder that when it's come to marketing, it's not just about the marketing communication campaign like this, right? So starting from segmentation, targeting, etc. We have learned the other 3P of the whole marketing mix, so the distribution. So this communication campaign won't work well without a proper distribution strategy. So for example, if Shell Advance built a really good relationship with the customer via this campaign. So we talk about the effectiveness of the communication, this marketing communication campaign later on. But if the customer are well aware of, remember two key objectives of this campaign, phase 1 and phase 2, awareness, and then increase sale and reinforce the awareness. And then customer would like to buy Shell Advance, and they couldn't get it from, from the retailer. So everything come together, integrated, not just a communication campaign alone.
Yeah, you're right. We because you see, like, we did different phase. The first phase we only create awareness, and then few months later we will call for action. It means that we give time to the market, to the retailer, to the distributor to stock up the products. Yeah, because if we launch the brand campaign at the moment, and then you want people to buy it, but the availability of the product is not ready, so the campaign will fail. So that's why we separate into 2 phases. Yeah, as what Dr. Lim said about this one.
Any other question? I think it's a fantastic case study. And I think it's good. I think thanks on for your question, because we need to refer to the other 3 P as well. So Dr. Fat, can you share a little bit about the pricing strategy? So remember that in this subject, we learn 4 Ps of the marketing mix. So today you're presenting, the promotion. Yes, and earlier you presented how to do segmentation and then targeting. That's exactly what we learned in theory. I think that's amazing. And in terms of the communication or the promotion, you have demonstrated, the more detail how an actual communication campaign was planned from the creative brief and then, to the implementation. So can you share with us a little bit about the other 3 Ps?
Okay. I haven't prepared the material here, but actually I can tell you more about the 3 Ps. Okay, as you will see here, right? For the first of all, the product first. Okay, the product first. As I told you guys already, and we're gonna to introduce all the 4 products into the market, right? But as those time, we already okay. So if you come back here a little bit, sorry, here. For the product this time, we use the new technology. We call it responsiveness for the oil. Okay. At those time, we also we have some technical partnership with the Ducati to come up the new technology for this one. We call it responsiveness. We have different, we call RCE. RCE is one of the terms we call it in internally. Okay, so but actually this is more technical, guys. But anyway, for product strategy, we will have the all 3 products will launch at those times. So we'll okay, this is the first one for the first P. But for the pricing one, okay, for the pricing one, you see here, right, different pricing for different tier already. This is one of the pricing strategy. Another one, we also do some promotion. For promotion here, we don't do it for consumer, but we do it for the distributor. Let's say we will have some like we keep more margin for the distributor at those time. If they stock up the product, let's say if you buy 10 carton, you can get 1 carton free. Yeah, 10 carton can get 1 carton free. Or the other thing, like if you reach the KDI, the sales revenue. Let's say for distributor A, we set the monthly target is the 10 million. Let's say $10 million US, for example. So if you reach the 10 million 100%, so we give you bonus. So that one, we give you more commission, right? We give you a trip to US, a trip to England, whatever, right? So we have some distribution program regarding the pricing. But actually, you can see the pricing. If you get like you buy 10 get one, it means that you deduct it into the price already. Those one we do it for the pricing. But for consumer, we don't deduct the price. Okay, it means that when we the product go out to the market, the consumer, they can have the product in their hand. They don't have any price deduction at that moment, but the distributor will have those kind of things. Okay, what the reason behind why don't we give the price deduction for the consumer? Because we find out that like the consumer they buy the product not because of the price promotion, not because of the price deduction. How much can you deduct, right? 5,000, 5,000, 10,000, right? It doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't nothing, right? To them, it's a peanut to them. So they will not, because of those kind of small amount of money, they will buy the product. So we will choose another way, like we will stress on the brand, right? Stress on the emotion more than the functional benefit at those times. But we do a lot of for distribution. Okay. For the another P for distribution, beside the pricing, we set it for the distribution price at those times. We also have some program. We call it like the road to market program. What does it mean, road to market? If you ever change the lubricant in Vietnam already, you will know that like the consumer, they will come to the buy wash or buy repair shop to do it, right? Okay, so it means that like you need to have the product available there. Okay, so what does it mean? Two things. The first thing, you need to penetrate your product into all the buy wash or buy repair shop. This is the first job we need to do, right? So how to do it? Okay, the second one, you need to do some branding, right? Your branding out there, right? So when people come to the buy wash shop, you can see all the Shell Advanced logo there, very nice, right? Eye-catching, right? Something like this. So two things you need to do. So for the first thing, we will do together with the distributor. So distributor, they will have some retailer or whatever, they need to go to the market, right? They need to spread out the product. They will go to one by one store to convince the repair owner to stock the product for you. Okay, so they use the price deduction for them to deal with the retailer. You get what I mean, right? It means that like the price to consumer the same. Nothing changed. So this is the official price selling to the consumer. For example, 88,000. But I sell to the distributor only 70,000, let's say, and the distributor will sell 75,000 to retailer, and the retailer only sell 80,000 to the shop owner. So the shop owner can get 10%. Profit from the price, let's say like this. Okay, so we will do some price strategy here for distributor, retailer, and also we will go to the owner shop. Okay, if they buy 10, let's say if they buy 10 carton, if they buy 20 carton or 50 carton, let's say. So from the brand, beside those programs, I will give them more things. Like sometimes I will give them the package. What we call the package. The package will including what? First of all, they will including some tools, right? Repair tools, the tools for them to repair the car, let's say. So I will buy the package for them. The second thing, I will do some cash because it's like cashback. Okay. So if you give me back the cap, let's say the cap, okay, the cap of the button. So one cap you can get 5,000 đồng. Okay, let's say 5,000 Vietnam now. So if they sell more, okay, they stock the product, right? And then they open the oil, right? Open the bottle oil for the consumer, and they will get the cap back, right? So give me the back. Give me back the cap. So I will do some cashback program for you. It's like one piece for 5,000 now, let's say. So those kind of promotion for the owner in order for them encourage them to sell more your products. Okay, this is one thing. The second thing is the branding. Okay, for branding, we do a lot of POSM, point of sale material. So for those, we will do some like selection, okay, for some very eye-catching location, like strategic location into the area. We will talk with the owner. So we will sponsor some money to renovate, to decorate the whole shop. Okay, so you put the signage of brand there. You will do the painting for the wall, right? You clean up everything, and then every year I will start a contract with you. Let's say just a rental. Okay, it's the you can say sponsorship program. I will give you like 30 million or 50 million. Sometimes 100 million, right? Or maybe I will convert to the oil, right? I will give you 100 carton oil for free for 1 year, and then you give me the place to renovate, give me the place to decorate into our brand guidelines. So we do this for the another piece, distribution. Make sure the products available, make sure the brand available everywhere, every corner into the city. Yeah. Product pricing, place. Yeah, and the last one, I just show you guys the communication. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic, Dr. Fat. Very comprehensive demonstration of the marketing mix as Shell advance. And then that also the further elaboration on the earlier answer of Dr. Fat to your question. So the mechanic, right? So so here is the owner, the shop owner, or the distribution channel, how Shell Advance develop and reinforce their distribution channel. It's very important because it's about the availability and presence of your Shell product. And instead of reducing the price to the end user, so Shell Advance focus more on giving more discount, right, to the retailer, to the shop owner.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah, the intermediate.
Yeah, fantastic. And remember that you need to remember this is a low involvement product. Yeah. Right. And another point here is if you keep reducing the product price to the end user, you will probably reduce the value of your brand, right? So it's smarter to give discount to the retailer and or support them with POSM and promotion material rather than reducing the price to the end user. Right. So pretty clear. Any questions? Any more questions for Dr. Fat? All right. Dr. Fat, thank you so much for your presentation. I'm pretty sure our students, we today on together have learned a lot from you, and particularly from Shell Advance, how they do segmentation, targeting, and developing, identifying communication challenge, developing a big idea, creative big idea, and the implementation. And afterward, you also provided us with more information on the marketing mix strategy of Shell Advance. So I think that's all in line with what we've learned in theory, and it's beneficial for everyone, particularly for their coming group project presentation in the next few weeks.
Thank you again for the presentation. Right. Hope that in the future we have more time to share my topic or my experience.
Sure, sure. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Right. So everyone, this is the end of today's lecture, and I hope you learn more from about the marketing mix strategy, and you can that help you to improve the quality of your group project presentation. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Fat, again.
Thank you.
We see everyone in your presentation in the next few weeks.
Okay, see you. Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any question, everyone? All right, thanks for being with me in the last 10 weeks, right? So I'll see you in your presentation in the next few weeks. All right, bye. Bye, everyone. See you soon.
Yeah.